If you're Joe Biden, if you think about it, it takes a lot of brass to brag about Afghanistan or even mention the word. You'll notice Bill Clinton doesn't casually drop the term Monica Lewinsky in conversation. He tries to forget it ever happened. And you'd think Biden would feel the same way about Afghanistan. His withdrawal from that country almost a year ago was the single most humiliating moment in American foreign policy since the fall of Saigon in April of 1975. Tonight, Biden gave a speech boasting that he's killed an Al-Qaeda figure in Afghanistan. Great. Feel safer? Of course you don't. Nobody does.
Tucker Carlson is a lying, disgusting, duplicitous, garbage human being, a traitor to this country who with every breath he takes and every word he utters is trying to do nothing but divide us further and further, and not even with facts or half-truths, but complete twisting misrepresentations of reality just so that he can get more ratings and maybe even run a presidential campaign that will just boost his own ego and result in our country being driven further into opposite corners and hating each other more and more. But how do I really feel? I don't know. He's a good guy. Was Joe Biden's withdrawal of our troops from Afghanistan a total nightmare? Of course it was. No one on the left is defending it. But does that mean that the President of the United States can't, a year later, take credit for killing the leader of Al-Qaeda? He can't mention or take credit for having killed the number one person in Al-Qaeda, the man who took over after we killed Osama bin Laden. He shouldn't mention that? What a bull argument. And he knows it. Biden boasting that he killed an Al-Qaeda figure. That's what he calls him. The leader. An Al-Qaeda figure.
Great. Feel safer? Of course you don't. Nobody does.
Great, he says. Do you feel safer? No, you don't. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
When he talks down and repeats like he's a school teacher scolding a group of bad goats, a teacher that teaches a group of goats and not children, because that's how low you have to talk down to a group of people to sound that level of condescending. They can't even be people. They have to be animals. And honestly, if you talk to your goats like that, be nicer to your goats, dude. But yes, many of us do feel safer. Tucker, man who sounds like he's named after a hemorrhoid pad. We feel safer when leading terrorists are killed. But at least you've been consistent with this position, right? Like when Trump killed al-Baghdadi, and you obviously also didn't feel any safer and told us we didn't feel any safer, right? And you didn't at all criticize people on the left that didn't want to give Trump credit for it, right? Roll the tape.
They loathe the elected president so much they're incapable of acknowledging any accomplishment, no matter what it is. Trump is bad. Trump killed Baghdadi. Therefore, killing Baghdadi was bad. That's how these purported geniuses actually think.
What? A clip that proves what a hypocrite he is? My goodness, how did we even find that? Oh, there's tons of them? Got it. A plethora of them. I understand. I'm doing a video. Oh, wow. You've got barrels filled with hypocritical statements from Tucker Carlson? Oh, my God, maybe for another video, because I'm kind of on a train of thought here. Sorry about that. My producer loves talking to me during my videos. This next clip from Tucker Carlson is chock full of things that are just complete disingenuous bull. So let me just play it and comment in between each part of it, okay?
And the reason nobody feels safer is Biden's response to the disaster in Afghanistan. Rather than pause and learn from it, maybe fire the people responsible for it.
Wait, I'm sorry. So the President of the United States, because he messes up a departure from Afghanistan after a long war, is supposed to just pause? He's not supposed to continue trying to root out terrorists that might be in that country? He should just pause indefinitely? That's your argument? Really? Continue this statement, please.
Not simply the self-destructive withdrawal from Afghanistan, but also the pointless 20-year war there.
Wait, okay, hold on. So now you're blaming Biden for the pointless 20-year war there that was started by Republican President George W. Bush and that was not ended by the most recent Republican president, your buddy W. Trumpy Frump, or wherever the his name is, that orange monster piece of garbage?
Rather than do any of that like a normal person would do, Biden immediately set off in another direction, provoking yet another conflict, this one in Eastern Europe, and he provoked it.
Oh, and so the killing of the leader of Al-Qaeda gets a quarter sentence said sarcastically by him, and now he is going to pivot and try to blame Biden for the Ukraine attack by Russia and the war that the Ukrainian people are currently suffering from at the hands of Russia. And wait till you hear the incredibly flimsy, stupid argument for how he tries to blame Biden for it. It's a doozy. A doozy? I don't know, it's some Fox term.
They lie about it, but it's true. The facts are out there, and it's very obvious. So just days after the Russian government announced yet again that if Ukraine joined NATO, NATO didn't even want Ukraine to join, but if Ukraine were to join NATO, then the Russian army would invade Ukraine. So days after they said this for like the 50th time in a row.
For like the 50th time in a row, when our adversary says stuff a bunch of times, you should just listen to it and not let a country that is being threatened by them be protected by the world community. Because my buddy Putin said it 50 times in a row. I mean, he said it so many times. We should just do what Putin says then, right? No, Tucker, you traitorous moron. The clip continues.
Kamala Harris arrived at the Munich Security Conference and publicly, reading from a script, called for Ukraine to join NATO. She read the words. They were written by someone at the State Department, so they knew exactly what they were doing when they did it.
That's it. That's it. Kamala Harris just read a statement calling for Ukraine to be accepted into NATO. That statement is what caused Russia to invade Ukraine? I mean, there couldn't be a flimsier argument, and he knows it. He's full of flimsy arguments, this piece of human smarmage. God, does he make me angry. I'm gonna try to breathe deeper until the next video. I'm Ben Gleib for Rebel HQ. On August 14th, my second hour stand-up comedy special, The Mad King, drops on YouTube. In it, I tackle topics like transgender people and LGBTQ issues, racism, protesting in our country, abortion, religion, the Constitution, and much more. And I cover all these topics in a way that proves that comedians can talk about the issues of the day without being total dickheads. It's possible. I think you'll enjoy it. I know you will. So please watch it. And until then, I don't know, maybe sit on the edge of your chairs and just kind of wait. Thanks.